everybody, welcome back, and this is the Showing Saint here, and today we're gonna kind of go through a Kingdom Hearts tier list. Now, I've been replaying some of the Kingdom Hearts games recently, and I just really wanted to make a tier list and just kind of talk about some of the worlds and how I feel about pretty much all the worlds in Kingdom Hearts, and kind of rank them and how I feel, because I have some different opinions than some people in the community about some certain worlds and what certain worlds be to me. So yeah, let's kind of get into this and start off with our first world, which is the 100 Acre Wood. Now, 100 Acre Wood is definitely a world that gets a lot of flack in the Kingdom Hearts games because it is a minigame only world. I think the first game, the minigames can be frustrating, but can still be kind of fun. In the second game, the minigames are actually a lot more fun. I actually prefer them in that game. And then the third game, it's pretty lame. For me though, 100 Acre Wood, I think it's okay and it has its place in the series, but it's a C tier at best. Next is Beast Castle. Now, I like the aesthetic of Beast Castle, and that's really all I can say about it. Now, the story in the world's okay, but if you're not Union Cross, I guess you never get to meet Gaston, which I've never been a fan of. I think he should have been in Kingdom Hearts 2, but oh well. But for me, Beast Castle is really a B tier. I like the aesthetic, but Castle of Dreams, never been a big fan of Castle and Dreams. Just not. Daybreak Town. If Daybreak Town ever gets remade into a console game and they keep all the things that was in Daybreak Town, I can see myself messing with it. But at the end of the day, again, it's just a C tier. The Deep Space. I really like this world. I like the fact that it takes only from the prologue of Lilo and Stitch, which I always thought was interesting that they did that. I just really mess with this world, but it's also kind of bland at the same time. I can't see myself putting this anywhere reasonably too high, but I think B tier is definitely. I've always messed with the fact that it was a prologue to the Lilo and Stitch movie, but yeah, that's all I can really say about that. Destiny Islands, A tier. I mean, it's beautiful. I would one day hope to get to visit the mainlands. I think that would be super fun. Monstropolis. Now, this one, I've heard some complaints about. It's like, oh, it's just a giant hallway, but I think Monstropolis is okay. I like the aesthetic. I like the world designs that we have in Monstropolis. I think one thing that really brings it down, I also like that it's a story that takes place after the movie. One thing that kind of brings it down for me, though, is there is no Randall boss fight, which I think should have been in Kingdom Hearts 3. But overall, I really do. I actually like Monstropolis. I think it was a pretty okay world, but it's a B tier for me. Land of Dragons. I mess with Land of Dragons. Its aesthetic, its theme, its music, its boss fight. Everything about Land of Dragons is great. Really, for me, it's just it's I don't know. Honestly, Land of Dragons might be one of those more perfect worlds in Kingdom Hearts. I think it does everything right. It definitely deserves an S tier. Agrabah. Now, something that a lot of people have been very sick of is Agrabah, which I understand. It's been in basically all the Kingdom Hearts games. It's just like a lot of it is just retreading that first movie. In the first game, it's really just a couple rooms, but in Kingdom Hearts 2, we get a much more bigger Agrabah, and I think if it ever comes back, I think it'll be really cool. But Agrabah has always been a clutch world, in my opinion. I think A tier, story-wise, all of it wise. Arendelle, have to go C tier. I'm gonna go over it. I mean, Arendelle should have been so much more in Kingdom Hearts. It really just it wasn't there. I feel like they could have done so much. I enjoyed that they did let it go. I think that was fine. They did do you want to build a snowman, kind of, but Hans didn't have a voice actor for some reason. We never even got to go to the actual town of Arendelle, which I think was a sorely missed opportunity in my opinion. I think that town should have been explorable. It's an okay world, but it's just I don't know. Atlantica. Oh, Atlantica. I can't put this over C tier. In the first game, the gameplay is just eh. I don't mind it being a mini game world in Kingdom Hearts 2. I actually kind of enjoy it a little bit, but I can't put it in C tier. Castle of Oblivion, love Castle of Oblivion. I love Castle of Oblivion. I think it's a really great world. I don't know what S tier. I don't know what's A tier. Country of the Musketeers. It's an okay world. I feel like it's pretty bland though. It can be pretty bland at times, so I can't really put Country of the Musketeers too high. But I don't hate it at the same time. I like some of its areas. I would say it's definitely... Let's fix this up a little bit. I think that's one of the better ones. I mess with this. Really? I would say, yeah, that's proper. Deep Jungle. A lot of people don't like Deep Jungle because it's a very big platforming world, but I like Deep Jungle. I think it's one of the... It's a pretty fun world in my opinion. I think Deep Jungle definitely has its spot. Disney Castle. Love Disney Castle. I've always loved Disney Castle. It's not much, but for what it is, it's great. Dwarf Wonderland. Great world as well. I love the story that it does. It's... Missing out on a Queen boss fight kind of sucks, but I think it's great. Enchanted Dominion, was okay. I wish the forest area was more explorable. I mean, I like the okay. It's okay for the areas that we did get, but I just would have loved that forest to be a little bit more explorable. Oops. The End of the World. For Final Worlds in Kingdom Hearts, it's probably the least memorable. It's definitely the one that's not talked about the most. But I think it's a pretty good world. It really just reminds you of your whole journey that you've had at this point. I think it goes in A tier. One of the most perfect worlds in the entire series. I think every time it's been brought back, it's been done really well. I love Halloween Town, but I also think it's one of those worlds that's played its part. Halloween Town is great. It's great. Fun boss fights. It's always been a great time. Hollow Bash in Kingdom Hearts 1, again, a perfect world in my opinion. It's really a good final world. Keyblade Graveyard, I love Keyblade Graveyard. And let me tell you, when I was a kid playing Kingdom Hearts to Birth by Sleep, Keyblade Graveyard was always a treat to be in, and I was just excited for it in Kingdom Hearts 3. I wish Kingdom Hearts 3 we got to explore through the actual Keyblades themselves in the graveyard. I think that would have been a little bit more fun. But I still think it's always been a really solid world. Speaking of solid worlds, this one also goes in S tier, man. Kingdom of Corona, that game, that world is so beautiful. It is a beautiful world. I love the little details of like Rapunzel, like discovering things throughout the world as you're running around with her. I think it's a great world. Land of Departure, I wish the world was bigger. If they bring it back and make it more explorable, I think this world can go higher up on the tier list, but for right now, it's a B tier for me. Barely a World, I think it's fine, but I can't really count that as a world. It doesn't really do much. Monstro, D tier. Monstro, actually just replayed the Monstro level in Kingdom Hearts 1. That Monstro sucks. Let me tell you, that is a bland world. I kind of mess with some of the aesthetics where it's like actual like Monstro's like where his mouth is and stuff, but outside of that, it's just so boring. It's a boring designed world. Neverland just consistently got better with each Kingdom Hearts game that it was featured in. So it did a good job, honestly. I think Neverland was, like I said, it just consistently got better with each Kingdom Hearts game it got in. Olympus Coliseum is a classic in my opinion. I mean the Coliseum fights, I mean, have always been fun. I mean, that's an S tier, man. Just so many great times. Now, Olympus, it was really missing the Coliseum. It was missing a Final Fantasy character who should have been there. I think it should have been Lightning, but I like it. I love a lot of his designs and stuff, but Olympus, man, just can't really go any higher. I mean, I can put it there, but that's about it. Now, hold on, let me check real quick with this. So it looks like we're only getting one of the Pirates of the Caribbean, even though they split up some of the others, but whatever. So I guess we're counting this as Port Royal and the Caribbean together. If that is the case, then S tier. I love the Caribbean. I think Port Royal's okay, but Caribbean, man, that world in Kingdom Hearts 3, it's absolutely beautiful. It it is a great world. I've always been a fan of pirate aesthetic themes, and that world just does it. It's that world, man. It's just great. Now here's a world that I don't feel like a lot of people like too much. I don't know. I mean, I get the monster section of it, but that is Prankster's Paradise. Now, I've always liked Prankster's Paradise, especially the amusement park section. I think that's just a place where you can just really run around and just explore. I mean, I've just always liked amusement park and circus themed levels in video games, so that this world, I mean, it's not completely that, but it goes up there. It really does. I have to say it's an A tier. Pride Lands, S tier. I love it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you kind of lose your abilities in Pride Lands, some of them, but I think what you lose and what you gain from Pride Lands works so well. I would definitely say it's again, I just would love to see that world come back. Radiant Garden from Birth by Sleep. I actually mess with Radiant Garden and Birth by Sleep a lot. I think it's a fun world to kind of explore. I really just get to see what Radiant Garden looked like before its downfall. San Francisco, let's go. So I love this world, I really do. I have to put this in A tier. It also is a fun world just to explore because it kind of gives us a look at what potentially something like Quadratum is going to be like in Kingdom Hearts 3. It's just this open world-ish city area, and I really enjoy that. It's a fun world to explore. Space Paranoids, always loved Space Paranoids. This goes to S. I know people like, oh, it's too blue. It's too blue. Who cares? Like, I've always had a love for Space Paranoids in the first Kingdom Hearts game. I loved Light Cycle. I loved all of that. Symphony of Sorcery. Never been a fan of Symphony of Sorcery. I think it's a really I like the world to an extent. I think it's cool with how they mixed each of the Fantasia acts, like each musical scene, into different areas, and how they even got some music into that game. But I don't know, maybe if they bring it back for Fantasia 2000, a different Kingdom Hearts game, maybe I don't know. Fantasia in the game, I think it was deserving, but the grid, this was like one of my most hyped worlds when Dream Drop Distance was coming out, because I was like, I don't know, I just thought it was cool. Really, the world itself ain't that great though. Yeah, bottom of B tier is really it. I like the aesthetic of the film. I've always been a fan of futuristic neon like aesthetics, and we get that with the grid, but damn perfect world right here, and the final, or the world that never was. I don't know, I almost called it the final world, which is not on this tier list for some reason. Anyways, fantastic, honestly. I think it is one of those just great worlds. It's a great final video game level. It's a memorable final video game level. Kind of go up there with like Hollow Bastion and Kingdom Hearts. Like, they did such a great job of that. Timeless River, man. I mess with Timeless River so much. It is such a great video. It is just such a great level. I really love Timeless River. It's really just, I would love to see another version of Timeless River. Maybe not the black and white theme, but maybe go a little bit further where like color first got invented, like, and then do some more of the shorts. Timeless River was great. Toy Box, exactly what it needed to be. I think Toy Box is a fantastic world. In fact, I'll put it at beginning of A. I mean, man, there's an argument for an S tier though. There's an argument for an S tier because Toy Box, first of all, it was a world that should have been in Kingdom Hearts from the get-go. It was supposed to be, and the fact that it sets up literally so much lore and story beats for future Kingdom Hearts games is mwah. Traverse Town, a classic in my opinion. I think Traverse Town plays its rules so much. I'm super excited for that Traverse Town mod that's coming out for Kingdom Hearts 3. The guy who's working on it is beautiful. Twilight Town, I love Twilight Town as well. I think it's a great world, especially in Kingdom Hearts. I wish Kingdom Hearts 3 did more with Twilight Town. I was digging what they were doing with it, the little bit that they did do with it, but I wish they did more with it, honestly. I wish it was more explorable. And a way to end this video off, it's not as bad as those two. I can even say, like, I really just can't really count this as a world, but Wonderland, each time we visit it, it's boring. It's just a boring world, unfortunately. It's a classic, but it's boring. Although I will be I will be one of those people who's like, I do want to see Underland in a future Kingdom Hearts game, but yeah. So this is the tier list. See ya.